You got up in the middle of the night. The 100th ever RTFR XL will take place at Kyoto Ring GP Long Boothy with the XR GTR. You're watching Live for Speed on Sim Broadcasts, and tonight it gives me great pleasure to join, the people joining me in the commentary box. It gives me great pleasure to announce it's Eoin, Harmon and Miika Särkkinen. Boys, welcome along.
Thank you very much, Pete. And it is a hearty congratulations to Rony for organising 100 XL editions of his fabled RTFR series. Congratulations as well to the voters. I hope you got what you wanted. I personally did not cast a ballot, but I think this is an excellent choice to have the XRR feature around Kyoto Ring. I think it makes the most sense. So yeah, well done to all the voters. And a lot of the qualifiers, you have to be on the ball because we have over 40 participants, so someone has to be kicked out, unfortunately. So yeah, a lot of congratulations across the board.
Yeah, Miika, was this what you voted for?
To be honest, I didn't even vote since I'm not the one driving. I was all good with any of the combos, but this seems a good one. I'm happy we got so many participants, and well, it's a special race, and it's a combo that deserves to be the special one.
Yeah, I mean, I did use my right to vote, and I voted for this combo. So thanks everybody for agreeing with the best combo that was on offer. The XR GTR is my favourite car in the game, and well, Kyoto Ring Boothy is not bad either. So yeah, pretty good one. Let's see what we've got in store for the rest of the season, shall we? Because yeah, we're on round 4 of a 12-round calendar all year long. Tonight is that milestone, 100 ever RTFR XLs. That's 8 years and 4 months of RTFR XL in LFS, and that is a huge milestone. So congrats to Rony and all the Race Green Events team for organising all of these excellent races throughout, that long period of time. Let's get on with it, shall we? This is what we've got in store: 46 laps of racing plus what seems like a pointless exercise, 10-second mandatory pit stop, which is going to contribute towards this 100-minute long ish race, but it's an exercise in trying to shake the race up a little bit. The drivers have to come into the pit lane, stop for 10 seconds at least around the Boothy variant of Kyoto Grand Prix Long, which sort of slows down that fast chicane onto the oval, which we all appreciate. Or rather off the oval in this direction. Here's the XRR 2-litre turbocharged inline-4 rear-wheel drive car, part of the GTR class in Live for Speed, the stock GTR class, and yeah, it's a beast. It's only been used 3 times in RTFR XL in the past, but it's great to have it back for this one, Eoin.
Absolutely, yeah. It is well known through the GT3 Challenge, for example. That's where I know it personally. I've driven it, and I can vouch that it is an excellent car, but it is a handful to get used to at the beginning. But yeah, definitely with all our competitors wanting to have their slice of history, everyone remembers the 100th winner, and the opportunity to do it. It's wide open for so many top competitors. But Sidus, I'm not sure if that's the correct qualifying. Oh no, it is. Sorry, I think Adam must have backed out or changed. Oh yeah, Sobus is third. Yeah, okay. So he must have changed his name or something. So that's what confused me. But yeah, Gabor has the chance after setting the pole position to get that big 100th win. There we go, that's better.
So it is, as you see, there's quite a bit of difference. Gabor taking the pole by over half a second, so he's at least got the qualifying pace. And well, we'll have to see about the race pace for the other guys so far. But to be honest, just behind Gabor, the times are much more closer to each other, so I expect some very close racing, at least from the top 10.
Yeah, it should be pretty close. Sobis sneaking in there. Our results were not up to date either, but we've got an absolute bumper grid. Eoin, why don't you take us away for the start of 46 laps of GP Long Boothy?
Yeah, let's get going. Yeah, we apologise to all the drivers qualified outside the top 20, but you will be on the scoreboard, hopefully, as we will race green and race clean for the 100th time, a special 100th minute race. The chance to be in an immortal here in RTF4. Let's begin. The light's a long hold, but we're off. Sidus will try and team up, I'm sure. Yes, Motorsports, plenty of competition as well with Laguskas and Isaac down the late 20s there, so they're going to have to work their way up. Gabor on the inside, though, will defend. Adam Brown watching and waiting to see how his car will react, and he's okay, but a bad start for Dadislav in the winner's team. He got a nudge in the back from Unite.
Big pile up.
Oh no.
Yeah, lots and lots of cars having a bad start, but we race on. Looks like we've got a 3 wide up for P6 at the moment. Unite in a sandwich there, and well, pushes on ahead.
Yeah, these tires are going to be freezing cold for the start. I suppose most drivers will prefer the endurance philosophy. Maybe going on the 4.3s should be the majority anyway. Yeah, there are 1 or 2 exceptions. And Yari Katula makes a mistake, so he's losing out big time as well in the S's.
Yeah, so a frantic start to this one. We are racing on, but yeah, lots and lots of casualties on the opening lap. Drivers just not prepared, not ready for the big squeeze into turn 1. It's a long race, this. It's longer than the normal RTFR XL running length. We're going to be going for about another 20 minutes plus, so 25. The first lap, but it's a big event. People are desperate for positions early on, and that's what happens as we've got side-by-side action for P5. This is ROLT cutting through on Unite, and Unite's going to try and get him back immediately on the exit out of Boothy here.
Yeah, he's working hard, but he may just have to sit back and try a switch back into the start-finish straight, and he's left the door wide open to Tamuli, whose Dreamland hockey adventure continues for Saipa. His beloved hockey team has made the final, as a matter of fact. So it's not just Rony celebrating; it is Tamuli and the entire town who want to win the Finnish Hockey League. There we go, yeah. Great pass.
Jonas still there in the slipstream, makes alongside there, takes the inside line, and should have this first corner here. Oh, but Hamley isn't yielding. And they both go wide.
But Hachiroku is going to see the compromised Zafaralis car, and he'll just zip down his right-hand side and make the overtake. And I think Dadislav wants some of action as well. He's got a fantastic double slipstream. He's got his nose in front. Just needs to slow it down in time, avoiding that oversteer combo. And yeah, he's done it.
That's
really
a great
good
move. 2 in 1 for Dadislav. But Samuli going backwards at this stage needs to get a fingerhold on the race, and it's just not working at the moment.
It's a long race, so a lot of it comes down to the race pace, how consistent you can keep through the race. But of course, the first laps here, it's very crucial. It determines the order where you go. And Unit's here looking at Adam, but backed out just a bit. Taking it wisely and not too aggressively.
Adam's live on Twitch if you want to pick up his live stream. He's live at Adam_bro on Twitch, streaming his point of view. So go and check that out alongside the main broadcast. We've got a few drivers here who are streaming. I think it might be Sobis, Thamuli, Gabba and Adam that are all providing Twitch streams for this, so that's great. And this is Unite, who's creeping up to the back of him.
We have a big battle on the oval section, Pete. Rayman has lost out to Yanni Katilla. Matt Jester and even Yaroslav Donnelly were tempted to have a go. And then just behind them, Nussel and Stephen Martin are side by side. So Yeah, lots going on in the mid pack. Reject as well. I can see him with side by side with Hachiroku. So yeah, exceptional stuff here. Yeah, the opportunity to become the 100th winner. The race 100 winner, I should say, to be exact. Antivalta won last month, but he's not here today. So yeah, it's all wide open for all these competitors to try and make history.
Yeah, as United's tried to, has now got around the outside of Adam. Adam's going to try and get him back. No, decides against it. So that's a great move by Unite on the main straight. An easy slipstream overtake in the end, up to P5. Adam demoted to P6 for now. But it's a long race. There's tyre strategies, there's fuel strategies, everything tonight's going to come into this. So don't take the order, as gospel at this point. Anything can change. It's a long race.
We have an early pit stop here for Kingy. I think he's a new Born to Race competitor, or that's he's sampling RTF4 XL. Now that's a special occasion, so he's in the pits early on. He elects not to repair damage. It's only bodywork damage, really. He's okay, so he wants to refuel, I think.
Yeah, Kingy's not new to that team, just hasn't been running that name, I don't think, for a while, but there we are. Velocity Junior, to those who know. But anyway, it's Gabba onto the oval then for the third time. He's opened up a 1.7 second lead over his teammate, and these two, well, they've been dominating RTFR and XL over the previous few years. They've both got wins now, championship wins under their belt, and Siders stamping their authority on the leaderboards in LFS over the last few years. As we've got Michael Malik side by side with his teammate Johnny SVK. Michael ahead there. And it looks great to have an entire field of XRRs. What a fantastic sight with all the old endurance racing liveries coming back out from the dusty closet. Be great to see these in action in a proper endurance race, but we will try and get one of those in the calendar at some point soon, I hope. But this is as good as we've got for now, and what a celebration, what a way to do it. As that's Miika Tiller in the background making a move on Johnny SVK as well.
And he's already almost in the slipstream of Michael Malek there.
And another driver that's coming through from the mid-pack is Lagutskas, now making a move on Nozzle. There he goes through up into turn 1, as Rayman's actually making a move on Isaac Price. And he's got through into turn 1. So Isaac loses a place there. And it's a real blast from the past. We've got Yaroslav Donalik just tucked in behind Isaac as well, as Isaac goes for the overtake again on Rayman. And is through once again down to turn 4. But great to see drivers who have frequented the series less and less in recent years coming back to celebrate with us for 100. And, names don't get more familiar than people like Isaac Price, Yoni Katila, Tatatas Lagutskas, Yaroslav Donlik. Great to see them. And Yoni Katila's using his real team tag in LFS for a change.
Yeah.
And his real name for a change as well.
Great pass in that corner, by the way.
Yeah, don't see that very often.
Yeah. Hachiroku probably realised there was no point fighting back in that terrifying bend that we all wince at from time to time.
Every time.
6% of the time, it hurts every time.
Hachiroku just ran a bit wide there behind Nikatila, so Michael is in his slipstream and already alongside. And as we come closer to the chicane, it's Michael going ahead. Hachiroku trying to defend his place. Oh, he's riding.
Oh no!
Pushing Michael to the gravel on the Gen SVK. House spinning out, and it's without Lagutskas taking advantage of this.
Yeah, drama. Oh, and we've got more spinners into the hairpin, and these guys might end up getting beached in the gravel if they're not careful. Michael should be okay, but is it Hachiroku?
Might be just stuck there.
Hachiroku.
Oh no! Actually, Roku's given up. He's actually left. We couldn't get a camera on him in time. Yeah, he's gone. So a driver out that was looking pretty racy, but cars everywhere into the hairpin. Unusual, but just in the heat of the moment, people are making unusual mistakes. We don't tend to see that sort of large-scale accident so far into a race. 5 laps is already nearly 10 minutes of racing, just over.
Yeah, that's an unusual play since there was a bit of accident in the chicane, so they all bunched up into the hairpin. But here we have Sik and Yaroslav Donnelly fighting each other. It's going wide. Cyril's going wide.
Oh, no.
Spun there.
Cyril loses a place to Stephen Martin and to Johnny SVK, and now to Ayub El Hanouni. There he goes. Ayub is through as well. And Cyril Basset there drops to P21. Meanwhile, Yoni Katilla's already got past Twin Cam. Twin Cam backed out before that corner. And that promotes Yoni Katilla into the top 10 now.
So that's Yoni Katilla coming back after a long time and just being as fast as we remember. He's just storming through the field right now. And that's Reject just in front of him. He might just get the slipstream here in the long section of oval. Oh, it's very close. Maybe not close enough for the overthinking chicane, but certainly for the main straight.
Yeah, you never forget it. Once you've got it, you never forget it. And for speed is that sort of sin. Yoni's already on the back of Reject here. Up the inside. Early on the brakes. And through. But he might be at risk of a slipstream, but he's probably going to get a good enough exit to run away. Or maybe not. Reject could have a sniff here. Difficult to see from this camera angle. Need to be... No. Yoni's got this. But Reject is coming back at him. I don't know if he'll go for the move into turn 1. No, he's backed out of it. Yoni will hold on to P9 as he makes his way towards the front of the race. Cyril Basset is doing the same thing, this time on the outside through past Ayub as he climbs back up the field. As Lagutskas scores the fastest lap. I'm not sure how long he's had that for, but Lagutskas has got pace as ever, and it was this lap. So yeah, he's on a move, setting purple times. And Isaac has woken up as well. He's got the fastest final sector of anybody at the moment. And it's just behind his teammate, who's now battling with Twin Cam. And let's see if it can be a move into that corner. A flash of the headlights as they round turn 8. Up to the inside. Twin Cam did lift for Yoni before and does so again. And through goes Lagutskas up to P11.
That's Cyril coming up on Johnny. Just not able to get past. Johnny holding his line very well there into the fast right-hander. It's the long left-hander before the oval section, and Cyril goes wide, so Ayub takes advantage of that and gets ahead. But Cyril may be still close enough to fight back from the slipstream. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, back through again. Not ideal. But anyway.
You can see here, Cyril taking the
drag,
slipstream. Yeah. It's very effective with XRR, so it's a good one to get behind the other cars on the straight.
Yeah, good for Seek there, just able to at least fight back after his small mistake in Parabolica. Still a long way to go, so yeah, keep the head up. Twin Cam gonna give Isaac a bump draft, so Ireland versus Wales here. Let's see how it goes. Fastest lap from Yoni Katilla, now P8 there, really impressive. Yeah, so Steve Martin, he's actually using our livery from the 2021 6 Hours of West Hill. So when it was the four of us, myself, Steve, Darius, aka Pat Seeker, and Adam Brown, we used the sort of mismatch of my red and Steve's white to create that livery. So yeah, really nice memories there.
Yeah, Trespasser wished he could have been there actually, but he couldn't get. He's not at home, so he couldn't join in the event, which is a shame. But yeah, it's nice to see that a lot of drivers wanted to be here, but for whatever reason, just couldn't make it out. But that's fine. But yeah, I've just been working away here in the background because I think, Mods McCarry has given us an onboard. So you can check him out on Twitch as well. Sobis34. Just had to wire that one up, but we've got it. So if you want to check his perspective out, you can do that over on Twitch as well for the duration of tonight's action. As Isaac Price is now caught up to the back of Reject and wants to make a move into Boothy. He goes to the inside. See if he can make it stick. Well, he's through. That was easy. And Yoni Katilla has caught up to the back of Thamuli, and this could be an easy one. Well, maybe not easy, but it could be an opportunity for Yoni. Thamuli's been rapid of late, but unfortunately, Yoni Katilla has been rapid for far longer and has much more experience. He's through initially. Thamuli doesn't want the slipstream. He's quite happy for now for Yoni to be ahead. And that's Yoni Katilla with the fastest lap up to P7 in this race. From where did he start? Way down.
Yeah, he started very down.
But P15, 15 seconds behind Gabba. That's not a it's not a big gap, but it's super hard to close down when you've got two drivers operating at this sort of level. Let's see what Ayub's up to, shall we? Ayub is having a go at Cyril Basset down into turn 4. Cyril won't give this up without a fight. Nope, didn't think so. Ayub's got a bit of damage on the right side of his car as well. I don't know whether that's from another car. Probably involved in that early incident, actually. There was a big crash that we couldn't quite catch sight of at turn 1.
I think he was towards the back at the start, and then he's fought his way back up. So yeah, we can double check that. But yeah, Ayub on the move after a difficult start.
Yeah, I'd be interested to have a chat with people like Ayub after this race, just to, get their thoughts on, their experiences really in XL. It's, as I mentioned in the pre-show, it's been going on for 8 years and 4 months. This is the 100th ever RTFR XL in Live for Speed. A long time, as we've got the Gutscast now going to the inside on winners Dodislav. See if you can get it slightly earlier on the brakes than Dodislav, but gets the apex first and is through. And Dodislav picked up way too much gravel with his right side tyres there, slowing him down a whole heap. As we lose Mozart from the race.
Yeah, Mozart unable to continue with a disconnection there. That's highly unfortunate. Dodislav now, after having one driver on his tail of quality in Laguskas, he's now got Isaac Price. It doesn't get any worse than that, does it?
No, not really, to be honest. Isaac is a specialist in the GT cars in LFS. You don't really stand much of a chance against him when he's on his day. In fact, on any day. There you go. Proof is in the pudding. I mean, it's just amazing when you see drivers like Dodislav who are going from strength to strength in all sorts of championships and Live for Speed, and then Isaac turns up and just drives past him. And look at the gap already. It's just a different level. Unbelievable. Hearing that Ayub's damage isn't from the crash at turn 1, even though he was involved. An excursion through the gravel, and is probably going to be picked off here by the Gutsgas. Yes, Motorsport are out in force here, aren't they? And there we go, to the inside. Thamuli might want to defend this. No, not going to happen there. And Gutskas is through up to P8.
That's a brave move from Gutskas, but he's the one who can pull that off. Very good one.
Joni Kinsella is already up to the back of Adam, and these two have got history. These two have raced together. They've done 24 hours together in iRacing, etc. So they'll be having a friendly fight there. As we've got Jaroslav Donlik backwards out of turn 9, I think. Yeah, that's the kink before Spoon. And he's back on his way, but that's going to cost him a whole bunch of places and tyres and all sorts. As now Joni... Adam's going to defend this so hard.
Oh no, he won't
he
actually.
I'm actually surprised. I thought he'd try, but
maybe he just wants the slipstream here for the main straight.
True.
He's already missed it. He's not got a good enough exit. Too
way
much
too far
slide.
behind.
I'm surprised Adam didn't defend that harder for the cameras, but never mind. Joni's on his way. But look at the pace difference at this point. We don't know what fuel these people are running, of course, but all will be clear soon, I guess, when we see when they're coming for the pit stops. As Isaac now gets through on Thamuli, or does he? Thamuli thinks about trying to go around the outside, compromising Isaac's line a little bit there. In fact, he has compromised his line quite a bit. It's good work.
Oh, Isaac put the block in just the right place. Thamuli had to lift, and that takes away his advantage for the first segment of the curve, but now he's got the nose ahead for the second. They'll be braking now for turn 4 rapidly here, and Isaac is able to complete the pass once and for all.
Yeah, no chance for Thamuli to get back through here, unfortunately. The slipstream effect will just push him away, and Isaac will be allowed to scamper away. As we've got Surabus say, is he going around the outside of Rayman? Yes, he is. He's through. Good move. And he's already closing up to Ayub. So yeah, some drivers now, as we're on lap 10, finding the pace and finding the performance to be able to close these gaps down and make moves. Will Cyril be close enough for a move on Ayub into turn 9? I don't think so. Ayub has let everyone else through. Actually, that was Twin Cam, sorry. His teammate letting everyone through into turn 9. I don't know whether Ayub fancies doing that at all, but it didn't happen, and it might happen on the oval. No. Cyril not close enough to do anything there.
Yeah, I'll just jump in quickly to say that Kingy, one of our other Born to Race drivers, has spectated, and is unfortunately out of the race, so that leaves us with 32 cars still running.
Here we go. Yes, Motorsport versus Sidus, the first of the Sidus drivers that the Gutskas has laid eyes on in a while. Let's see what happens here. The Gutskas on an absolute charge. In fact, I think he's running around in a Bagheera 0 mileage GT Cup livery with Joni Katilla's face on the bonnet.
Yeah,
and he's straight through. And that harks back to one of our first ever broadcasts as sim broadcasts, that livery. It's got some history behind it, that one.
We probably should mention a lot of special liveries are ones from the past, but Rony, of course, has the special gold streaks on his car. I don't know if we've mentioned it just yet, but yeah, Rony has gone extra dedication with his livery. He's got some gold to celebrate his occasion, but it is actually his 99th appearance in his own series because he was absent with a flu for one of the races, but he didn't tell me which one.
It's not good enough, is it? Rony's 99th Tuesday Fun Race Extra Large.
Yes.
But actually it's 100th, so go figure.
Yeah, 99% attendance record, yeah.
Well, it's not bad, is it? Has anyone managed 100?
I highly doubt it, I'm afraid. So it must be Rony, top of the pile in terms of appearances. Oh, and Aero LT was at turn 9, stranded on the side of the barrier there, so he's out of the race himself.
I didn't catch that. Well, I didn't see that, rather, but what we also didn't see was Lagutskas getting past Adam at turn 9. He is through, and right behind him, in fact, yeah, he's making... absolutely ridiculous pace. He's passed Unite and Adam on that lap on his charge towards the front. But the Gutskas, 18 seconds off our leaders that we've not even talked about really. The gap there, 6 seconds between Gabba and Rick. Further 2 seconds to Carolis. Goodness me. Unite drives off the track a little bit there. But yeah, fantastic turnout. Thanks to everybody for showing up for the big race. 100 minutes of driving to celebrate the 100th ever RTFR XL, even if Rony has only attended 99 of them himself. But that's fine. I'm sure he was still in attendance to run the event, but maybe he just wasn't feeling good enough to drive.
Yeah, that's probably it.
So we will celebrate his 100th next month.
Yeah, Mandula in our Twitch chat has the second most regular appearance maker in its Team Usoini, up to 97 appearances now, so a 97% attendance record for Timu, so very good.
Well, hang on.
Temusen is one of those who attends like all the races. He's been regularly on RDFR, both the regular and the XL, and also our series, and almost everything you can see here. He's just quite everywhere.
Got Isaac now closing in on Unite, and Unite's closing in on Adam. Adam's going backwards here, but not because his pace is bad, it's just because the pace of everyone around him has been climbing up from mid-pack is just faster at this point. Carlos Monjoitis has just asked ROLT how much fuel he started with to sort of gauge his pace as Unite goes super wide and just allows Isaac to go through. Interesting
Interesting
Gave him a
indeed.
very wide berth around Spoon.
Yeah.
Didn't want to give him any slipstream. But it's hard to keep track of who's in Yes Motorsports and who isn't, because they do tend to jump about a bit, don't they, between the different teams. But today it's very clear cut. The team names and the team tags are on. And we've got a nice balance of World Class Lions, Sidus, Yes, and all the others to boot. But Yoni Katilla up to P4 already. Lagutska stealing back the fastest lap though. He's currently P5. And, well, let's reset the order, shall we? 13 laps in. Gabba currently leading with a 6-second gap over his teammate Rick Cardle. I do wonder whether there's some sort of fuel strategy difference going on here, because this gap is large. Then we've got Carlos Mochiotis, who I may remind you is live on Twitch. Sobis34. If you want to go and catch his perspective, you can do. Gabba not live today, but he also is on Twitch. If you want to catch his racing sometimes, he will broadcast live for you. And then we've got Yoni Katilla, just getting through a back marker there in P4, and the Gutskas. Fastest Gutskas, P5, fastest lap currently. A bit of damage on the front end, probably from somebody spearing across the track earlier on. Then we've got Adam, who is being caught by Isaac Price. Isaac goes for the move inside of turn 9, it will be. In fact, he might be even... Yeah, he's through before the apex. So there we go. It's P6 for Isaac. Who's that off the track? Rejoining.
Yeah, that's the back marker again.
Yeah.
A bit of a hard place there, but luckily there's no contact.
Yeah, good battle for 21st place here at the moment. Magic versus Yaroslav. They're through the S's now, heading towards turn 9, so that's where RLT's race came to an end. He nearly rolled it, hitting the curb a little bit too hard, and realised, yeah, that could have been a terrible crash, so he may as well try and stay healthy for another day and just call it quits. So yeah, the attrition rate definitely playing its part now. Several drivers are indeed a lap down as well, so they just have to keep fighting on as best they can and hope things in front of them happen. So now there's Rony's special livery on show. There you can see the usual secondary colour of white has been replaced with the gold. So yeah, really fetching livery there to celebrate. And there's a 100 decal, I think, just on the B pillar there, just says the big 100 there. So very, very nice.
Yeah, we've been talking about him a lot, but we haven't actually shown him on stream. It's a bit dented, but there is the organiser, the man responsible for the championship. As we switch away to see Stephen Martin in the slipstream of Rayman, as we head on, well, they head on to lap 14, and Steve pulls out to the outside, which will be the inside for turn 1, but it's not going to matter because he's already through, and up to P19.
When Yaroslav made an error, he was motionless there for a minute as Rony passed by, so to make a mistake out of the final chicane is most unusual, and he may have been in two minds and he's just lost control of the car completely.
Well, it's good to see him here having a go, as I've not seen him for a wee while, but I hope he's enjoying himself nonetheless. But yeah, I hope he finishes.
Wow, would you look at that? It's Jonil Katila shaving off the time from his difference to Cabor, the leader. It's only 13.5 seconds right now. It was 15 before when he was making his way through the traffic, so Jonil really having the pace at catch up to the podium places.
Yeah, but whether he's catching fast enough remains to be seen. Obviously, we do have the pit stop phase. We don't know how much fuel most of the drivers that started the race started with. We have no idea. So obviously, well, the drivers are going to require more than a full tank. It's around 130% to complete this race, which means that the drivers could have elected to start with half a tank, 65%, and then pit halfway. But more likely, drivers have gone for a heavier fuel load to begin with to maintain track position, or some of them may have gone for very little fuel, in fact, so you never know. As Isaac sets another fastest lap, and Lorenzo is making moves down the field. He's on the outside of who's that? That's Rayman. That's the final chicane. This could be close. I think Rayman might have a slipstream here. Lorenzo's had a good exit. And I think that'll be that.
Back. Didn't get a very good exit from the last corner though. Lorenzo is quite far away, so slipstream not very effective at this range. And seems like Lawrence is all good.
Yeah, Rayman's struggling a little bit with rear tyre temperatures at this stage, and that's a good point. I mean, the tyres shouldn't really be a factor in this race, I don't think. But never say never. We have had races like this where tyres have been pretty close, depending obviously on how you drive the car. But you'd think that a set of GTR tyres could go the distance. We will see.
They also might need changing, but it is up to see. When we get the pit stops rolling, that's when we see on the strategies. If they count on making it all the way through with one set of tires, or if they want to make it safe with changing the set.
Well, everyone's driving R3s, so it's going to be pretty clear pretty soon what the situation's what the situation is. If one driver starts to feel pain, then it's likely that a bunch of others will as well. I'm sure a lot of drivers will have done at least partial stints to practice for this. But yeah. Isaac Price there through the first chicane. I've just got up to Isaac has opened up, but he's actually making ground over Unite at this stage. That gap has opened up. So yeah, solid drive so far. Adam choosing to represent TC Racing, and just looking at that makes me quite jealous to not be in that car today, I won't lie.
Well, I believe you would have enjoyed driving this, so I
am
feel you.
unbelievably jealous of Adam right now, yeah. I do wish I was in this one, I won't lie. But I'm happy to join you guys in commentary, of course. So
I suppose I'm the only one out of us. I've never entered a proper RT4. I've been in one. I thought it was the new year, straight away broadcast, but it was like just one of the offline races. Kind of driving that, but I've never actually been in an RTFR race at all. It's been commentary all the way.
I just think it's fun seeing a TC Racing car going around in 2025 in an XLR, in an endurance race. It's just great to see. Happy that Adam is still carrying the torch. Great stuff. Oh, who's that in the gravel? Was that Stephen Martin? No, it looked like it. Who is that? Who's trapped in the gravel at Boothy? It's a backmarker flyaway.
Oh, flyaway.
This could be trouble because he's going to get beached. Actually, no, he's going to get beached on that sleeping policeman before he gets out, I think that's as far as he's going.
I think he's stuck there right now.
Yeah, he's going to get hit.
He's still trying,
but yeah, he's got to retire. I think that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's gone. So Flyaway, unfortunately, leaving the race after being stuck in the gravel. But if you're just joining us, this is the 100th ever RTFR XL, Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Extra Large in Live for Speed. Round 4 of the 2025 Championship, though that does seem to be sort of insignificant in the grand scheme of this event because it's attracted quite a large number of names that we haven't seen so far this season, or indeed for a couple of seasons. Great to have everybody back, celebrating the milestone and enjoying the XR GTR at Kyoto Ring GP Long with the Boothy chicane. An absolutely classic endurance racing combo in Live for Speed. And it's Sidus Gabba who is currently leading ahead of his teammate Rick Cardle, both of whom have won the overall championship in the past, in either RTFR or XL. And, well, he looks quite comfortable at the moment, doesn't he, Eoin? He's 7 seconds ahead of his teammate. But we don't know how much fuel he started with.
Yeah, that's very true. We have been certainly flummoxed a few times with previous streams of people's strategy calls. They have proven to be quite surprised, either going very, very long, tempting the car to have a puncture, running out of fuel. Others pit really early and they managed to somehow use the extra fuel load to push on and end up getting a great result. So yeah, it is fascinating to see what these leaders actually do as we near the 20 lap mark. So yeah, still a lot more racing to do.
Yeah, I'm just watching that gap between Joni Katila and Gabba. It is still coming down. It's just hovering around the 13-second mark. So potentially, well, this is completely grain of salt hypotheticals here, but potentially Gabba started with more fuel, or Joni has just turned up with some mega pace today and is closing that gap down. I can't imagine that the drivers have gone for wildly different strategies, especially at the front of the grid. But do remember that a lot of the drivers that we're looking at now did start mid-pack. I think Isaac started well down the order and is now P6. The Gutskas in a similar starting position, now P5, just up the road. As the gap, there between Joni and the leader does drop down below 13 seconds. And here is Isaac. He's going to be lapping Rayman very shortly. And there we go. Rayman helpfully indicating.
Joni Katila, he's actually caught up very close to Sobis now. It could be any time that he's going for overtake move. That's still 4/10 of a second difference, but oh, he's close. That's Jaroslav Donnelly going wide again, finding the grass. Not very favorable to do so, but he's managing so far. You can see Jonikatila, he's getting very close to Sobis. He's on just on the edge of the range of the slipstream. If we can get a good exit here from the spoon, he might get the slipstream onto the oval part.
Omar comes into the pit lane out of P24, goes on to pit lane and finds a pit box. You have to do a mandatory 10-second stop, which, as far as I know, everybody so far who's pitted has done. Otherwise, you get a time penalty. But there we go. Look at that, Yoni gaining so much time on Carolus into, out of Boothy.
Yeah, it's an enormous time that he can save in one chicane. Now he's very close. He should be taking the position here with the slipstream. He might want to hold on a little bit later to go in there. Yeah, you can see he's staying a bit wide, but now he's taking in the slipstream. So he's timing it perfectly. He's gonna be just past before the braking zone. Stop is not quite able to get the slipstream back. And that's a very good move from Jonikatila.
Yeah, Yoni up to the podium then, provisionally, from mid-grid. Just unbelievable pace today. That pushes world-class lines onto provisional podium ahead of all the S Motorsports cars. But there's still a long way to go. Who knows? We are not even halfway. We won't be halfway for another at least 10 minutes. So hold on to your butts. We've got a lot of racing to do before the end of this. And anything can change, and it will. Undoubtedly, it will change. Something's going to happen. But I just wonder what. But that's the intrigue. That's what's special about these longer races. We often get drama, and we've just had a little bit more drama. Sobis has binned it on his own at turn 9.
Oh, wow.
That's unusual.
Very unusual. And that's
On his
Raymond
own as well.
Rayman is able to get himself on lap there. But yeah, shock for Sobis there to make a mistake.
Yeah, Adam's going to have a great opportunity here. Sobis is going to be getting back up to pace, but he did go in nose first, but still he'll be unsure of the state of his car as he breaks into the Boothy chicane. Let's see what Adam can do with this. Unite's only just behind as well. There you go, in the bright yellow and green car just behind. That is Unite. So these three pretty close, and this is the fight for P6 in the race. And don't be under any illusion, this might be a round that's taking place in the middle of RTFR XL 2025, but this is a big deal. Winning this race will feel amazing. It's a long race with the XRR, marking a big milestone in a championship that, if you've not driven, you should definitely give a go, because it does provide some excellent fun on a Tuesday night. And everybody on this grid would love to win this one.
Yeah, especially the 100th edition. It would be a great honor to be the winner of the 100 XL race. This is a bit further down in the order. This is Wincam and Reject having a bite of their own. But back to these three guys. So we're still leading the pack. And I'm following very closely here. Unite is just a tad away, but still in the range of punishing them if they do any mistakes with each other. And that's of course Raymond again, just in front of them, who's got the blue flags.
Yeah,
he's got three cars coming up. So this is not very favorable place for Raymond to be. He has to let three guys pass in a very tricky position off the track.
Yeah, he's going to back off now. Good choice. You do not want to be holding up Sobis through turn 9. He's just been off here. Yeah, it did. You know, when you're pushing and the tyres are just going to the edge of performance, pushing that hard, having just gone off the lap before, fair play to Carolus. He really wants to keep hold of this place now. That was brave. And actually, I think he's done all right there. He's managed to open the gap up quite a bit to Adam, who's going to be under threat himself from Unite now. This is going to be a fight for P7. Tidus versus TC Racing. Here we go. Oh, bump. Adam going super defensive, and why not? And holds the place for now. Well, that's good to see. Car's actually fighting on track. Too many drivers letting each other through. I like to see a bit of defending going on. As we've got teammates swapping positions. That's Reject getting through on Twin Cam into Boothy. Oh, but Reject's run a bit deep. And
Twin Cam's
just going to hold them both up. Yeah, well, Twin Cam led him through, so he's not going to want to.
Oh, Reject a bit loose on the.
Oh, this is bad.
On the rear tyres on exit, so Twin Cam. Yeah, he's going to try switch back here. Reject hugs the apex. And also be curious to see what goes on here between the teammates.
It will indeed. It's down under the 1 minute 14s goes Vitalis Lagutskas. 2 minute 13.86. New fastest lap for the race. Yoni also under the 114 as well with a 0.99. But Lagutskas is on fire at the moment. Yoni is still gaining on Gabba, but it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough time unless something happens or there's a difference in fuel strategy. It would have to be pretty major swing in fuel strategy for Yoni to do this on pure pace. He's going to need some luck to close in on Rick and Gabba before the end. That's the sort of, it's 12 seconds, which in any other race would be doable. But when you've got drivers of this caliber, Owen, lapping so reliably, 12 seconds is a lot.
Of course, yeah, the best you can hope for is maybe take half a second out of them once or twice every now and again. So to gain 12 seconds back on them, you've got to be really on the ball and hope for a big strategy that goes in your favour. I think Twin Cam's a bit too aggressive into that corner there, and also will have a ton of momentum into Parabolica. Let's see if it pays off.
Puzzle holding into the inside line, and he's not behind. He's not getting the slipstream except for now. He went for wider line, so he can stick behind Twin Cam and get the overspeed. And go again onto the boots again. Oh, there's
contact! Whoa! Steady on, boys. That could have been bad.
Yeah, well, luckily that wasn't any worse than that. Unusual to see a contact there. But luckily they both make it through.
Yeah, Nozzle actually apologised in the chat, but that could have ended badly. They could have both ended up running off into the wall at the end as the Lagutskas slaps in another fastest lap, 13.80. So Lagutskas, fastest man on track at the moment, and reliably so, down to 14 seconds off the lead, and potentially he has the pace to close up to our race leader. But Gabba himself is now 10 seconds clear of Rick Cardle. Gabba is just lapping consistently. And we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be enough to see him take the win. But yeah, we've got a lot of things coming up. We've got the mandatory pit stop, we've got tyre strategy, fuel strategy, goodness knows what else, as Twin Cam there fancies to go back at Nozzle, and he's through before even the braking zone for turn 4. Fair play.
Oh, a bit more contact there, door to door.
Yeah, they are really fighting it out. They are not giving an inch to each other. It's great to see such racing at this part of the race when the field is so spread out. But when the two guys meet, they just go full on ahead with each other. But still keeping it clean enough so they are not just crashing out. Fair play to both of them.
Yeah, well, news on the Yoni Katila and Lagutskas front. Yoni Katila might be absolutely flying, but Lagutskas' pace is unbelievable. Almost 2/10 faster than Joni Katila in the middle sector alone. And yeah, he's actually gaining on Joni quite a bit. You can see him out of his windscreen quite clearly. They're just exiting the final chicane as we stay focused on this twin cam nozzle battle. But yeah, Lagutkas potentially could be in a fight with his teammate fairly soon, and that would slow both of them down. Not his teammate, sorry, with Joni. As twin cam there just can't get the power down. Too much gravel, too much off track. And yeah, well, there is Gabba, and as I said before, 10.7 seconds is his gap. He's lapping without anybody around him, but his lap times are not as fast as some of the other cars around him. So we've got Jaroslav Donlik and Jari Katila both fighting each other out of spoon. Jari in the black, white and yellow World Class Lions livery, and Jaroslav in the blue and white. Oh, Jaroslav still with a nose on the inside, but no, Jari's pulled ahead. As we've got Dodislav pitting. That's quite early. I thought Dodislav would stay. Oh no, he's got damage. It's not going to be a fuel stop or probably not scheduled. It is halfway, so
it is halfway, so we can expect more cars coming into the pits sooner or later.
Yeah, 35 seconds. Yeah, Everton was done there, so he's got a lot of work to do to recover that time.
Yeah, drivers taking a longish pit stop, so the pit stop is going to be absolutely critical. Drivers that think they can, honestly, I don't know if the tyres can make it. That is intelligence I just don't have ahead of the race, so that's exciting.
I'd say I would be surprised if they try to go with one set of wheels.
I mean, that again, that brings in the fuel strategy even more. Like you don't want to pit while your tyres are still good. You don't. You'll lose so much time to other drivers who can stretch the fuel, stretch the tyres, because in Live for Speed, as the tyres get older, they get faster, much faster. So if you've also got a very, very low fuel load, you'll have to pit sooner, and you won't have time on the good tyres. So you'd think that the drivers that are at the front, the ones that are setting the best lap times now, potentially the Gutsgas has got less fuel in than Gabba and Rick and even Joni. But let's have a look at this then, because Joni Katila is in the slipstream of Rick Cardle. He started mid-pack and he's going to go through on the run between turn 3 and 4. Rick is going to be livid, but we don't know. We don't know what strategy they've got.
Yeah, that's the mystery yet to be figured out. Pardon me, go ahead.
It's all right. I'm just saying, unbelievable that Joni's managed to close that gap down and overtake 11 seconds. And the reason for that is that Gabba's pace is just not there at the moment. He was half a second slower on the last lap than Joni and Lagutskas and Isaac.
I have to say, I just did some recon and some calculations, and in the last lap, Joni was almost 0.8 of a second faster than Gabor. So at this pace, if the pace is going to keep similar for the both of them, Joni is going to catch Gabor in the end of the race.
Look,
and there will be battle.
How much fuel has he got in Miika? Because this is potentially the time when his fuel is low. We just don't know. So this is exciting.
And also, is there any pace like store for Gabor? Can he go quicker? Can he get some better times?
Three cars in the pits at the moment. Sorry, Miika. We've got Nozzle, Madjester, and Steve Martin all pitting at this stage. So halfway. Oh, Madjester's got a drive-through penalty. He's sped through the pit lane, so he's going to have to come through again. That's going to be a bit of a scar on his race. But excitement at the front. We do not know what the strategies are yet. They're going to unfold pretty soon, I expect. Gabba goes out and does.
Yeah, so the ones who pitted, they have all the tires and fuel. So tire change is coming to play, as I suggested.
Yeah, everyone doing the refuel, tires, and optionally damage. But yeah, it's starting to get pretty exciting. Lugutskas has now caught up to Rick Cardle. So, wow, this is brilliant. Soon we're going to have 3 teams represented in the top 3. If Lugutskas can make this move on Rick Cardle. We're so lucky to enjoy this.
Lugutskas gained 1.7 seconds that last lap, and he's up another few hundredths in this sector alone, so it's unraveling a bit for Rick.
Yeah, it is a bit, but great to see Titans of LFS, I'll call them, battling one another in equal machinery. There's no driver changes. This is just a straight shoot to the finish, an individual pursuit, even though there are obviously teams in this event. But it's every man for themselves, essentially. And RTFR XL is a drivers only championship. There is no teams championship. And of course, there is prize money on offer. This series is sponsored by World Class Lions. And at the end of the season, payouts will be made. As we've got Ruby down in P22 having a battle with Steve Martin. So there is still action at the back. We are down to 27 cars. Quite a high rate of attrition.
Pits. Yeah, Magic's in the pits, so he's going to concede position to those two. Let's see what his plan is after all that driving.
Yeah, but also keep an eye on his pit stop. See what he does. He's see what the sort of benchmark time is. Everybody's done tyres and fuel, but let's see how much. Obviously, how long does the fuel take to go in? It's pretty quick, but it could make quite a lot of difference. For example, Nozzle stopped for a minute because he repaired damage, so the drivers at the front need to be very careful not to repair any of their damage that they've picked up, if they have any. As Jari heads now onto P6, and well, the differences in some of the pit stops is quite large, we're hearing from Chris there, Eoin. So we've got to move Isaac on Lugutskas, here we go.
Now Isaac heads the Yes Motorsport contingent, looking to get on the podium.
Ooh.
And Sobis has pitted, so that explains that as well.
But a blink from a Yes Motorsports car in the pit lane, tyres and fuel for Karolis Motsiotis. We have his onboard, so we can see exactly how long his pit stop is there. Look, 18, 19, 20,
It was 23 seconds for Magic, so it should be
22. Yeah, 23.2 actually recorded.
It's exactly the same as Magic.
So that's what you've got to look at.
It takes tires and fuel.
But the other drivers ahead of him are going to need to put less fuel in now because they're doing an extra lap. So that's when Sobis has decided to pit. I wonder if Isaac and Lugutskas will have any sort of similar strategy, as Karolis is immediately under threat by Ayub. Ayub trying to go around the outside, turns to the inside, to turn 4, and he's going to do it. Potentially, in fact, Motsiotis probably has more fuel on board now. He's heavier. And he will lose out to the drivers that started with more fuel in the race.
Yeah, very true piece. So it will not be for a terribly long time that Ayub will be ahead of Sobis. But yeah, it's definitely great to pull off that move when Ayub is lighter on fuel and has the tyres well and truly rubbered in.
Onto lap 27 goes Gabba. No signs of coming into the pits yet, and he is actually now maintaining that gap. 11 seconds there or thereabouts. Drops down under 11 seconds, 10.7. So another 3/10 go in the way of Jari Kitila. Sorry, Joni Kitila. I keep getting these two mistaken again. It's been so long since Joni has run his real name in this championship. Only masquerading as True Alpha or something of that ilk. But anyway, Joni is back and he is trying to win this. It just makes you think what would have happened if he'd have actually tried in qualifying.
Yeah, my goodness, yeah, what a difference that would have made.
Jari Katila, Yoni's dad, is in the pits along with Thamuli. Yari's repairing damage, so that's going to be a while. Must have been pretty catastrophic damage to want to repair it in a race like this. Generally, the drivers will not repair damage. Thamuli with a more regular pit length, 23 seconds, and makes the jump on Jari, putting another lap over him. Jari with a next to makes no difference. 1 minute pit stop as Gabba makes his way through, or tries to make his way through on, I think that's Rayman. Oh no, it's Ruby. My mistake. There'll be a lap on Ruby.
That's Seek in the pits as well, so Cyril Basset getting his pit stop done. Pretty respectable 22.41 second stop, so I'm sure the top contenders for victory will be hoping for about 20 seconds stationary in the pits, so that's probably what they're hoping for if they're going longer.
Yeah, we're currently watching on board with the Gutscast, and this is a three-way fight for P3 in the race. That's Rick Cardle in the pink just up ahead, Isaac Price in the yellow, and the Gutscast is watching on as I think Isaac now is in the slipstream, and this is going to be a move for P3 to the inside. Goes Isaac, and he's through even before they think about braking. Rick Cardle has no chance of returning, and Isaac is through. That is 3 representatives of 3 different teams on the provisional podium for now. But the Gutscast looks absolutely fired up. In fact, Rick Cardle might want to try and get back at him here. Here we go. He's not going to give up, is he? Isaac's going to try and hold him around the outside, but Rick Cardle, for now, has managed to get a nose ahead, and that's going to bring the Gutscast into this fight, Owen. We're going to have a 3-way here.
Yeah, this is so tense right now. Critical juncture in this 100th edition of RT4XL. Rick has, of course, got the position back.
Oh,
now
Isaac's
the
letting the
Gutscast is
Gutscast
going to
through.
have a turn.
Yeah.
So Isaac concedes the baton back to the Gutscast.
That's brilliant, though. He knows his teammates got the pace, and it's all about getting the Yes Motorsports name up onto the podium for these guys. Brilliant teamwork. As the Gutscast now moves up a place and has a chance of trying to get through on Rick Cardle. This is brilliant stuff. The joy to watch these guys go at it. Doesn't happen very often, and I hate to say it, but it's going to happen less and less probably, but just enjoy it while we got it. The Gutscast on Rick Cardle here into Boothy. Johnny SVK with a 17-second pit stop. What did he not do? Just did tyres and fuel. Maybe he missed an axle or something. As Unite and Adam are also battling behind. We'll have a quick look. Yeah, Adam dropping down there. P7 with Unite getting through. And Isaac is nowhere near the back of Rick Cardle as Gutscast pits.
Oh yeah, Gutscast bitten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in. So he's taken this opportunity to come into the pit lane. I mean, that explains the pace, doesn't it? He's the first to blink. He was also the guy with the quickest times for a long time. And let's see.
It doesn't feel. How much does the stop take?
As someone behind them misses a pit box, has to reverse back. Whoever that is.
Yeah, it's Harmon.
Hermione, yeah. So the Gutscast's stop was 21. That's a quick stop, 2 seconds faster than some of the other drivers. And that could make it. But the Gutscast now has new tyres and a lot more fuel than the drivers ahead. So expect him to be pushed out of it. Adam with a quick stop, 18.9 seconds. But the Gutscast there, well, he's not going to be happy, is he? He had great pace, but because he had less fuel.
And it could be the detriment, but yeah, it's still a case where Isaac could do his teammate a solid and take time away from Rick with multiple battles. Certainly in the high-speed corners, it's very distracting to have someone try and interfere with your racing line in the quick stuff. So we'll see if the Gusgas's early stop actually pays off, but he does need that help from his team.
It's never going to pay off, Owen. It's never going to pay off. You have to be out the longest. The race is won by spending the least time in the pit lane. Gabba's just coming up to pit entry. I do wonder if it's going to be his chance to come in. No, Gabba goes past again, so that's 2 laps longer than Legutskás. In the end, the pace is not going to make a difference. Gabba has managed to stretch his XRR longer than Legutskás, so Legutskás is no longer a threat unless something happens to Gabba. Gabba's still lapping very consistently, just about. Oh. There you go, Isaac's in as well. So not good news for Isaac either, really. The S Motorsports guys just haven't been able to affect the front of the race like they would have wanted to. Joni Katila is still out, remember. He is still lapping at great pace, but it's going to now depend on where Gabba pits in relation to Joni Katila. But Gabba, this is an absolutely stunning effort so far. There we go. Amazing.
It is unreal, but certainly you've got to watch those tyres. I don't think they've got more than 15 minutes left in them, so yeah, you've got to be very careful.
Isaac did a faster pit stop than Legutskás, but only just a 20.9. So it'd be interesting to see where they come out. Possibly they're going to come out together.
Yes. Isaac ahead though.
Oh, Isaac is ahead. Well, there you go. That's how much time Legutskás lost by pitting just 2 laps earlier. Even his teammate managed to get back through. And these two really just need to hope that Gabba, Joni and Rick pit sometime soon. But I just don't see it happening. I don't see it having an impact now. I think this is a 2-horse race really between Joni and Gabba. And neither of them are flinching at the moment. Yeah, these two teammates back together. And for now at least, Legutskás is holding on to the purple flag. He has the fastest lap of the race. It remains to be seen whether, as the fuel burns off, Gabba, Joni or Rick can get anywhere close to his best time. As Gabba's coming up to pit entry again and goes past. No, he's in. Gabba's in. Thought he was going to go past. He flinched, but he has actually now blinked and has come in. Well, will Joni Katila pit? Is Joni Katila going to come into the pit lane as well? No, Joni's going for another one. Brilliant.
So that's a very good pace from Joni Katila through the race.
Rick's going for another one.
Longer than Gabba.
Well, Joni and Rick have stayed out for longer than Gabba. This is really important. What is Gabba's pit stop time going to be? It feels like an age being stopped for this long. But what's he doing to the car? Tyres and fuel, 20 seconds. So it's a good stop. Around about the same time as Isaac. Bit quicker than Legutskás. But as he comes to the end of the pit lane, well, actually, Unite's come in, and Isaac's not even around the final corner. So yeah, he's going to be absolutely miles ahead of these two, who are still battling out between themselves. So, dream scenario for Gabba. He just now needs to pray that Joni Katila runs out of fuel in the next lap or so, because otherwise, Joni is quite simply eating into Gabba's lead for free.
There will be blue flags out here because Nossel and Steve Martin are going to be in sight of the race leader. Steve slows down very early. He doesn't want any potential backlash, so he actually let Nossel through for position, but Nossel has to slow down next.
Yeah, but on the oval, Steve's given away about 20 car lengths to get around. Let's see. This is absolutely fascinating now. This race has taken on a completely new dimension as we head into the final 15 laps in the 100th ever RTFR XL in Live for Speed, representing 8 years and 4 months of the RTFR Extra Large Championship. And Eoin Kittila here is closing up to a back marker, closing up to Nozzle for the race green team, the hosts. And I do wonder whether Eoin can eke out yet another lap. If he can, who knows where this will end. Let's see what he chooses to do.
Yeah,
he's going pit right now. So let's keep an eye on how long will his pit stop be. So it was 20 seconds, 20.1 seconds for Gabor, so that's where we want to compare.
Yeah,
only 17 seconds for Rony.
Rick Cardle incidentally has stayed out, so Rick is going longer than most people. He has decided to stay out. He's already down into turn 1. There he goes. So Rick Cardle will register a lap in the lead of this race. Gabba is coming past pit entrance. Eoin Kittila is still stationary right at the beginning of pit lane. So there we go. Gabba takes back the lead with 15 laps to go.
And Eoin is off.
And
19.7. So it was a couple times faster than Gabba. So
yeah, about half a second faster. But what's that going to mean in the grand scheme of things? It's flat out to the finish now for these two. What can Eoin do?
We'll have to see the gap.
He has to pull off some incredible laps.
I mean, it's all about qualifying in the end. Eoin just didn't really set a representative lap time. Had to start way down the order. And, well, that's really affected him. So we've got a gaggle of cars here. We've got Unite's, Carlos Montiotis and Adam. So that's what we've got here. And this is the fight for P6. And Unite's going to get a big slipstream off Carolus, so he's pushing him.
Giving a bump.
Bumping's not allowed. Bumping's not allowed. Oh no. That's not fair.
It is allowed, but it's of course a risky move there.
Yeah, it is. It's not allowed. Anyway, Unite has pushed Carolus ahead of Adam. Adam's going to be upset about that. And mind you, Unite might want to push Adam past as well. I think he is. He just wants a 3-car fight, doesn't he? I think he's pushed Adam deep into the braking zone. He wants to try and get through. But yeah, Carolus Montiotis leading this battle. Oh, Michael's timed out. That's unfortunate.
Oh no. We're down to 27 runners still on the circuit, with Harmon 2 laps down, everyone else at least probably 1 lap down, yeah. So 1 lap down for everyone else, but Harmon 2 laps down. And there we go, Rick is pitting. So we have to cut away from that very tantalising battle to see the temporary race leader get into the pits.
Yeah, and Gabba exiting the final corner with that 11-second lead intact. There he goes, past Rick Cardle, who is stationary in pit lane still. And Rick is away, and it's a 19-second pit stop for Rick. But where's he going to come out? Eoin Kittila's gone past him. And Rick Cardle's going to come out fairly close to Isaac. In fact, Isaac's going to get him. There we go. Isaac goes through. The Gutscas is also going to get through, is he? Yeah, no, maybe. Close. But he's through, and that's going to be a shot in the side of Rick Cardle. That's going to be super frustrating.
Absolutely remarkable just to be within a millimetre of each other when it was time to brake. He couldn't make that up.
Oh, just brilliant stuff between these guys, honestly. It's just super racing. And it doesn't end there, does it? Rick Cardle is going to be hungry to try and battle his way back through. Now that everyone's on what should be equal tyres. Well, mind you, actually, Rick Cardle's got newer tyres, which isn't actually necessarily a good thing, is it? Has to get some heat in them. Got to get used to the fresh rubber, having been driving around on thin, hot rubber for the last, well, half an hour. Oh, as Adam's had a scare. And it's turn four, almost 3 wide. Adam's looking to try and get back up to P6. But to do that, he has to defend from Unite and attack on Carolus Montiotis, neither of which is easy. Well, we're well over the length of a normal RTFR XL race at this point. We've been driving for about an hour and 16 minutes. So, well, there or thereabouts. This is about the normal race length of RTFR XL, but we've still got another 13, 14 laps of racing to enjoy at Kyoto Ring GP Long Boothy. And we're riding aboard the rooftop of Sidus Unite, who has the slipstream on Adam, and another bump.
You're not keen on giving the bump draft instead of getting past himself. He's got some strategy here. I'm not sure what, but maybe he knows himself.
Yeah, it is a bit perplexing, but certainly when your opponent is from a different part of the continent to you, it is definitely a gamble to give him a bump draft. But yeah, as long as the ping is okay, you probably get away with it. Well, yeah, Adam took the hit and he's able to carry on, but Sobis, I think he's going to get the best of all in this lap. It should be pretty handily clear, and yeah, Unite really wants to get back that disadvantage on Sobis. So 2:16.44 for Sobis, and yeah, actually Unite was a little bit quicker, and now Adam is right in range.
Yeah, they're trying to test the top speed of the XRR, trying to use all the 6th gear, down to turn 1. It's risky, but it can be a fast way around this track if you've got fast drivers around you. If that's the way you want to make progress and both the drivers are in agreement, then whatever. But yeah, not sure really what United's strategy is at this point, other than just trying to have fun with Adam. And I'm all for it. I don't mind. Decided I don't mind Owen.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, that's fair enough, Pete. I understand.
Looking back to our leading battle, we can see that the gap has come down under 10 seconds already. Joni Catalyst seems to be lapping a bit faster than Gabor, but at this pace Gabor should be safe to keep the lead until the end. But there's still plenty of way to go, and anything can happen, so we have to keep our eyes on that as well. The lead battle between these two, still they are in the same positions as they have been for quite a while. Adam is getting very close to Sobis, and maybe trying to go for an overtake quite soon, but not for the chicane yet. You can see there on the feed from Sobis, he's correcting a lot. The car is struggling quite a bit when you try to get out of the corner. You just have to get your way through. It's not the easiest one, but it's surely a good challenge.
Oh, United's got that all wrong.
Oh, 2 mistakes there from the challengers to Sobis, and they're going to come up on to the likes of Omer, OA and Magic to be put a lap down, so that could be a little bit of a distraction or a support depending on the randomness that may come into play when faster cars coming up to drivers down the pack. So let's see what happens with Adam now that he's clawing back some of that time he lost. It's actually dead level in Sector 1 between the two of them.
Yeah, the gaps are pretty even between all of our front runners, as Adam there gets a horrible dose of dirty air, and Unite, I'm sure, it's going to be all over him. There he is. It goes for the move into Spoon, and that's what happens. Adam's gone from chasing to being attacked immediately. Could have gone a lot worse, to be fair. But Unite is through now. Or is he? No, he's not.
Oh, he's holding. He's still gonna give the bump.
I don't think so now. Surely not. Come on, the race is coming to an end. He's got to start being selfish. No, he's backed out of it entirely. That was the best opportunity he had in a while to try and get through. There is now a back marker between them and Sobis. And it's Omar, so yeah. Well, actually, no, Sobis hasn't managed to get through the back marker. That's surprising. He's still on the outside. And he's now ahead. Actually, it took him a bit longer to get through than I thought. But Adam has got other things to worry about. Other news.
Yeah, and there he pits. Ayub in the pits.
Yeah, Ayub was the last driver to stop, as you can see from our timing tower graphic there. And he's now come into the pit lane on lap 36. His lap 35. Crawls to a stop. Well, he made it as high as P10. And there we go. That is everybody on the timing tower now with a stop, at least. And as lap 36 draws to a close, as Gabba enters the oval, he is leading with an 8.7 second lead over Joni Katila. And Joni needs to gain 0.8 a lap to win, which seems to me like it would have been doable, potentially doable, at a heat peak a few laps ago, but now that they're both on the same, essentially the same strategy, maybe not. Full order.
Well, it is indeed a very much for Joni Katila to catch up, but they are both coming into the end of the lap, so we can actually see the difference on this lap time, if he is on the pace.
Yeah, well, Gabba's just going through the final chicane. Joni's just braking for the final hairpin. And we'll get Gabba's lap time in just a few seconds. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think this lap will be in favour of Joni. We'll just find out for sure. 2 minutes 14.6 is the target to beat.
Should be about 3/10, I reckon. Let's see what he gets. 14.1. So it's half a second. It's close, you know. It's close to what he needs, but he just needs to keep this consistency and hope for mistakes from Gabba. But hoping for mistakes from Gabba is like, you know, winning the lottery.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often. Chances are quite slim. But it does happen. It has happened in the past. But we are in a weird sort of calm where we've got a very, very fast driver in Joni Katila, definitely closing in on Gabba, but we've not got enough laps left. Potentially. Just makes you wonder what would have happened if Joni had qualified higher. Anyway, can't change that. Focus on the race, Pete.
Yeah, but it's a great effort from Joni Katila either way, climbing all those places and getting up to P2 like so quickly, and even then being able to catch Gabba all the time. That's a very good feat. And now this is finally going side to side.
That's backmarker magic.
Yeah, that's my backmarker, not Adam. My bad.
It's alright. Just thought I'd show an overtake, and it was on a backmarker, but.
Anyway, it was still not going side to side for a while.
Yeah, he hasn't had much opportunity to. Well, he has. He just hasn't chosen to overtake anybody in a while. Had plenty of chances to go side by side with Adam, but just elected to push him instead. As Mad Jester goes into the pit lane, he's got a drive through. So this will be him serving his drive through. So slow, isn't it, down the pit lane? 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles an hour, and he's out. Drive through completed. And there he loses a place to Steve and Rony, the man himself, up to P19 in the race.
Yeah, but of course, Mad Jester can fight back with a little bit of momentum, perhaps late in the race, using all that time on circuit. Let's see if he can actually do it.
Gabba's just started on a lap. He's already up to the gap between turn 3 and 4. He looks very, very comfortable. His last lap was at 14.27. Yoni's last lap time was a 14.4, and you don't need to be good at maths to know that means that Yoni was slower than Gabba that lap, and that is not what Yoni needs if he wants to stand any chance of winning. Gabba has got this very much under control. The real intrigue, I think, at this point is to see who finishes in P3, whether it's Isaac or the Gutscast. I don't think Ricardo's got the pace at this stage to be able to affect the podium. The gap even between Isaac and the Gutscast is still pretty large, under 4 seconds, 3.5 there or thereabouts. And the Gutscast did have the pace earlier on, but I don't know if he does at this point. As Twincam is coming in the pits again. Curious. I wonder why. Oh, quick stop, maybe fuel. Yeah, he didn't have enough fuel. Fuel calculation is a tricky one, but just top up a little bit more than you think you need to avoid this happening, because Twincam's just about to give away places to his teammates. Reject, Abe both go through, and I think this one will sting a bit more. Cerebus.
Yeah, that's a costly mistake to make from Twincam. It's unlucky, but it's of course better to take the extra shot than run out of fuel in the end and potentially not finish the race. So a couple of places lost, but he's still on track.
Oh, Adam's going slowly. In fact, Adam's just been passed by Unite. Why is Adam going slowly? What's happened here? He was going way too slowly. Has he made an error? He's potentially he's been off. I think Adam's been off.
Yeah, he's
It
definitely
seems like
made
he's had
mistakes
an
in there,
error.
Yeah, he's lost a ton of time. And he's been passed by Unite now, so down to P8 for Adam. Didn't see what happened, but it must have been turn 9 or 10.
Oh, when Unite goes wide on the chicane.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Adam's lucky. He gets the place back through an uncharacteristic mistake from Unite. Unite often self-sabotages by not putting enough fuel in or not stopping for long enough or other things. Doesn't normally have accidents like that, but Unite, well, helps Adam out a lot there by just driving off the track in sympathy. So Adam will be happy. Unite not so much. Thamuli might sense that his competitors are unravelling ahead of him. Maybe Thamuli can use this to his advantage.
Yeah, he's gained a lot from the other guys doing mistakes in front of him.
Indeed. We're into the final 8 laps then of the 100th ever RTFR XL. And Chris just told us that Adam went on two wheels through turn 9 and then clipped the wall on the exit. So taking too much curb in the XRR is it's not something you hear about every day. But this car is very happy to get up on 2 wheels, as Rayman has pushed it too far and has managed to pick up a puncture. And he's back out.
Wow.
So he's had to do a tyre change. Now, is that because he didn't do a tyre change earlier? Or is that because he didn't... Or is that just happened because he pitted too early? I think that's got to be he didn't make a tyre change earlier. I know he did change his tyres, but he pitted way too early in the race, so they didn't make it to the end. So that's unusual. We did think that every single driver had made a stop, but yeah, unusual. Adam appears to be having an argument with himself in the chat now at his accident, but he just needs to focus because he's still got P7. Mistakes happen. We're all allowed to make them occasionally. Prove we're still human. But I think Gabba has exempted himself from that today. He's quite happy not making mistakes, lapping as consistently as ever. His car looks pristine, and I'm sure he'd like to keep it that way for the remaining 7 laps, including this one, as he heads on to the oval for the 40th time, and he's catching up to another back marker. That's Mad Jester just up ahead of him for SG Racing. Just ahead of Mad Jester is Rony, who would really rather not be lapped, I think, in this 100th event, but just such is the pace of Gabba. This is a long lap. I know it's a fast car, but it's still a long lap, and to lap so many cars is just super, super impressive. And it's a very demoralising feeling to be lapped.
Yeah, unfortunately for Rony, I don't think he stands a chance to stay in the same lap. Gabba's got so much pace that he should be lapping Rony quite soon.
Yeah, we often see lapping in RT4 XL, but obviously with this being a longer format. Now, what's happened to Adam? Adam's now lost a place to Motiotis as well. Hang on, no, I've got that the wrong way. Unite.
Yeah, Unite has lost a place.
Yeah,
Adam and Emily as well. So something's happened to Unite again. He's not really keeping it together either.
No, I'm going to guess it was the chicane, or maybe
it was just before the chicane. I'm not sure how, but something.
Well, Federi's made a massive gap, so yeah, a bit unusual. We didn't catch it on camera, of course. Classic. But there we are. That's the gap to the front. Solid around 8 seconds. Unite losing a whole chunk of time on the previous lap, but Eoin is just not making enough progress up the road. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Isaac's got the fastest lap back. That's 13.78. So that's impressive. Just showing that he's able to open up that gap to the Gutskas, and that he's still got it. He can still lap quickly in LFS. Unite's complaining about damage in the chat now. And yeah, it does look like he's got quite a bit of shock damage, probably from going over all those sleeping policemen in Boothy and various other corners. In fact, yeah, he's taken several trips over the grass into turn 1 this race, and there's a big old rumble strip in the middle of the grass there, which won't have helped him at all.
I'll watch him through Parabolica, potentially see what the car will or won't do for him. Left side tyres probably get a bit of abuse, but it's manageable if he takes it easy. Yeah, his competition with the likes of Sobis and Adam, it's no longer feasible, so yeah, just needs to nurse it home really, don't lose any more positions.
Joni Catella takes the fastest lap, 13.72, but it's too little too late. Mind you, I think Gabba lost a chunk of time the last lap. The gap was 8 seconds, it's now 7.3. What on earth happened there? Gabba's lap time was a 14.46, and Joni did a 13.7, so 7 tenths, almost 8 tenths of a gap there. Isaac Price also very fast, but we are just running out of laps for that grandstand finish that we'd hoped for. But that doesn't take anything away from the occasion. It's been an excellent race. We've still got 5 laps to go. And anything can happen. We've seen drivers pick up punctures. And we've seen drivers making mistakes as well. Speaking of mistakes, Yarri's in the middle of one. She's gone up the final chicane hard into the wall. That's going to cause him all sorts of trouble.
That's a big mistake.
Huge. He's going to get passed there by... is that Raymond? No, that was Abe.
Yeah, Abe taking a lap.
Yeah. Rayman's still a few seconds behind him, but that's not going to help Yari's final lap. Gabba's got traffic. Rony and Steve. Oh, and Yaroslav's off. Jaroslav Donlik just rejoining at turn 8. Oh, and he's got big damage. Has he got big damage? I think he's got damage.
Yeah.
Adam's had trouble as well. He's lost another 2 places. Is it 2 places? Yeah, Thamuli and Unite both got past him. So everyone's starting to crumble. Ida and Rony together on track. I'm sure it wasn't the photo that Rony wanted, but we'll take it. Cross start finish. Gabba puts a lap on Rony himself, and now Gabba is going past Steve, who nicely indicates out of his way. And yeah, Adam is having some super concentration issues now, just giving away places.
He can't even,
Unite's
type the
crashed.
word in.
Unite's crashed.
Oh no! Why?
Don't
It's all the way.
Driver, what happened?
I'm
He's stuck.
actually speechless.
Yeah, I said nurse at home, pal. No
This
way.
is the thing. Unite was typing. He was typing in as he drove into Boothy to Adam, having a conversation, and he's now got himself beached at Boothy. I don't think I jinxed him by saying he doesn't often crash. I think I was trying to be kind, but we've got 3 laps to go. We've just driven for an hour and a half with no issues, and well, that's a shame. Unite leaves the race from a good position, and yeah, it just sucks. But anyway, there we go.
Yeah, Adams. Yeah, he's gone wide at the turn 2, so the exit in between 2 and 3. So yeah, definitely extra distance is pushing some of our top drivers beyond their limits.
I mean,
like,
it's
you did
just
the Tuesday night, of course.
It's not even
Long
an
week.
excuse. It's not even an excuse for these guys. These guys are so used to doing
I
endurance.
know, but yeah.
I think Adam's just given up. Look at Adam's showboating. So there is definitely a lack of concentration going on, but it shouldn't be the case. These guys are high caliber sim racers, all of them, obviously. And sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want it to go. But the gap from our race leader to Gabba is now 6 seconds. Remember back a few laps when the gap between our race leader and these guys was around 15, so it gives you some idea of just the pace of some of these drivers who just couldn't qualify higher up. They just didn't have the 1 lap pace that they needed, but their race pace is just superb. But at the end of the day, until this point, Gabba has been the full package. He's had the one lap pace, he's had the consistency, he's had the concentration, and with only a few laps to go, it's looking good for him. But Yoni, I want to say he was slightly held up there by Rony. Not going to make any difference, is it? But Rony's just needs to let him through. He's not going to do it.
He's waiting for the very last moment, Pete.
He's going to make Yoni do it.
So desperate to catch up to the SM Harmon Enterprises livery.
Exactly.
Doesn't want to lose
definitely the fact that he wants to catch Steve.
Yeah, doesn't want to lose to our car.
It's not because it's Yoni and he just wants to give him a hard time. Oh man. Good stuff. But yeah, Yoni now under 6 seconds from Gabba. That definitely would have cost him some time. That wasn't an easy overtake on Rony. Yeah, in fact, he's lost half a second trying to get past Rony.
The gap between Gabba and Yoni was much smaller. He might be quite furious about that, but
I think he might be.
at this point it's not making all that much of a difference. So
I mean, I hope not. Steve is closing up to the back of Lorenzo. Lorenzo's got a whopping great chunk still out of the front left of that car. Must have some sort of alignment issue because of that, at least. And Steve shouldn't find this too difficult, because Lorenzo is not going to be having a fun time trying to slow down, steer, or accelerate with this car. The whole package. But actually, navigated turn 1 and 2 quite nicely there, and turn 3. So Steve might have his work cut out in the last 2 laps to try and get through. But they'll also have to contend with Joni Katila trying to get past as well.
Seems like Joni might be held up again.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so by Steve and Lorenzo. Rony maybe, but not Steve.
Yeah, well, they are still fighting each other, so...
It doesn't matter. Steve gave up 20 car lengths to let Gabba through a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, that's true, though.
Mind you, having said that, he's going to give a bit of a slipstream to
yeah,
Joni.
he's ready to pull alongside you.
Yeah. See, there you go, Rony. That's how it's done. Fastest lap to Lagutskas, a 13.4. He takes back that point at the moment, but there is still time for other drivers, of course, to better that time, as Lorenzo goes as wide as he possibly can to allow Joni the inside line. But Joni's not having good luck with lapping, is he?
Yeah, Lorenzo hoping to take slipstream so he can defend better against Steve Martin. But Steve is he's getting close.
Yeah, and Joni has disappeared now. The gap is too big for any sort of slipstream. But actually, it's getting quite close. Steve could have a chance on Lorenzo before the end of this one.
Well, Isaac is almost in range, but he's getting held by Rony.
But Rony's not going to let anybody through.
Yeah, he wants his finishing rate still to be 100%. He's entered 99 races and he's finished them all. Well, 98 out of, it says 99th attempt, and he wants to finish for the 99th time. So here we go. Just need to eke it out one more lap.
Yeah, there's currently a 2.8 second gap between Isaac and Joni. It's tantalisingly close, but I'm also having to announce that we're on the final lap. Gabba's on the final lap. He's already almost at turn 4, getting through Magic there. Putting another lap on Magic. And he's on the final lap of the race. Oh, we've lost Ayoub on the final lap. Ayoub's timed out a bugbear of his that he often has with his network connection. And, well, he was pushing his luck, wasn't he, with a 100-minute race. But it was looking good. But unfortunately, Ayoub won't finish the race. And we're down to 25 runners. It's just one of those things you just can't control. Your internet connection is can be so frustrating. But anyway, the race goes on. We've got Johnny SVK and Dodislav fairly close together. This is the battle for P9. And these two are going to have one more lap left to fight it out. It could be close between those two, but it's not going to be close between Gabba and Joni. Joni's gained that 1 second back that he lost over the last couple of laps. In fact, Joni, is getting through on Rayman there. Takes another back marker. Makes it look so easy. And Gabba is into the final couple of corners now. And, well, he made this one look super easy in the end. His teammate Rick Cardle, who was on the front row with him, is 13 seconds down the road. And out of the final corner comes Gabba, the man of the hour in Live for Speed. He's doing a brilliant job, as everyone has noticed. And he can add this one to his trophy cabinet. The 100th ever RTFR XL goes the way of Sidus and Gabba, who wins this evening in spectacular fashion after an hour and 44 minutes of racing. What a superb drive. Joni Katila will take P2. Isaac Price takes P3. Lagutskas does take the fastest lap. 2 minute 13.36 in the end. 11 seconds back. Rickardle crosses the line in P5. And we'll have a little bit of a wait for Motiotis. But you can't take anything away from Gabba today. He drove superbly. Went very late on the fuel. Put a lot of fuel into the car. And, well, what a drive from him. Here comes Motiotis. Up to the start-finish line. There he goes. P6 goes to him. And next it's going to be Thamuli across the line. Might have a bit of a wait for him. He's actually coming to a slalom across the line, fair enough. Nice bit of a flourish to the finish. And finally, Adam, after... Oh, don't lose it on the final corner, mate. He's going to finish in P8, hopefully. Well, cruises across the start-finish line. Dolislav is going to take a P9. Looks like a contender early on, but sort of drifted out, and SVK will take P10. And then we will wait for the final few drivers to come around to finish. But Gabba is atop victory lane. He has finished supremely tonight. And Joni Katila has to wait and watch on at what might have been. As we just wait for the final few finishers to cross the line. Cyril Basset there in P13. There should have been an Ayub in the mix.
Yeah.
But unfortunately not. As Nozzle comes across the start-finish line, our final car across the line. And we can now read the final results of the 100th ever RTFR XL. In
yeah,
1 hour
there's the history.
minutes.
Sorry,
yeah, go on.
Pete,
No, go for it, Eoin, go on.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, history for Gabor. Didn't get the 99th victory, but he will be remembered for the 100th because 200 won't be happening until the year 2033. So great to get that one on the CV.
Yeah, nice little stat. Thank you for that, Eoin. But yeah, an hour and 44 minutes, 4 seconds, 0.34. Didn't get the fastest lap in the end. That went to Lagutskas, who finished just off the podium there in P4. But Gabba, yeah, what a performance. 5 seconds in the end, clear of Joni Katila. Joni started way down the order, but fought his way through to get a podium. So too did Isaac. Isaac Price there, 8 seconds off in P3. That is your podium. Then it's Lagutskas, Rick Kardle, who was a front row starter. In the end, 25 seconds off, but I think he must have lifted off in the final lap. It wasn't that big, I don't think. In fact, no, I think it was. I don't think he had a good end to the race at all, really. Almost half a minute back from his teammate. Then we've got Carlos Motiotis, P6, Timo Särkkinen, P7, Adam Brown, P8, Dodislav and Johnny SVK, your top 10. Then we've got Reject, Twin Cam, Cyril Basset and Nozzle. Those are all the drivers that stayed on the and Ruby, your top 20. And then 5 more names that finished the race. Omar, Jari Katila, Magic, Rayman and Hermani. But Ayub actually is classified ahead of Hermani in P25 because Ayub completed more of the race than Hermani, so that's interesting. Then we've got Unite, Lucas, 02FLE, Flyaway 57, Teemu Soini, ROLT, Kingy, Mozart, Igorka, Michael and Hachiroku. DNFs in the end, but thanks to them for turning up and putting in a few laps for us here tonight. And with that, I'll ask my colleagues in the box what they made of the race. Well, that was a good one, I thought.
Well, what can I say? It was a special 100, and it was a worthy one. Plenty of action happening, especially in the start. There was a big pile-up, and then in the early stages we got a lot of battles going around the track. Then there was, of course, the tactics came into the play, and Joni Katila making the absolute swarm through the field and closing up the Gabor all the way until the last laps, but was just a few seconds off the pace. It was certainly a rememberable and remarkable 100th edition of the RDFR XL.
Yeah, I suppose I'll add, the landmark occasion, Pete alluded to it. It brought back a lot of wonderful drivers to give it their best shot. And indeed, Gabor just used that little bit of experience to maintain his title ambitions. But yeah, wonderful to see the likes of Yoni back, the Yes Motorsports guys, and various others like Yaroslav Donalik. He was having a tough time out there, but he fought on and got himself to the finish. And of course, shout out to Rony there, 99 starts, 99 finishes. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, a very, very, very good finishing record. And we've got someone to come to speak to us. We've got Karolis Motsuitis in the commentary box now. Karolis, what was that like? I mean, P6 in the end, but some super pace and super racing out there. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. I am essentially where I should be according to pace. Well, Adam also had really good pace, but both of us experienced crashes. I experienced one in the fast right-hander. Adam did the same at some point. But yeah, there's no way I would have been able to catch up to those 5 in front of us, of me. But it was fun trying to keep up with Rick at the beginning, because he was a bit heavier than me. I started with 70% and he started with 85, I think. So I had the advantage, but yeah, it was fun trying to keep up.
I think you did a great job, to be honest. I mean, finishing anywhere on this grid is an achievement, especially that high up. I think you're giving Adam a bit too much credit. His accidents were his own fault. He's just lost concentration in the end and just drove off the track, I think. But yeah, good effort.
I saw his crash. Once he didn't crash, but he was almost crashing because of my draft. But yeah, when he did crash, yeah, he was alone. Still, he had good pace.
He did. 100th RTFR XL, quite a remarkable occasion. Do you want to share an anecdote from RTFR XL or any memorable occasions? I think topping this off with 100 minutes of Kyoto long with the Boothy chicane in the XRR is quite a good one though.
Yeah, I think so. To me personally, this was somewhat of a difficult combo. I still, after all these laps, have a few really hard corners where I see that everyone just gains like 0.3 or so of a second on me. Well, maybe not that much, but still I can obviously see them closing in. So for me, yeah, this was a difficult combo. But still, I'm quite proud of where I am.
And you should be. This is a tricky one.
Yeah, and for Rony's Tuesday Fun Race, general comment, can't really give up. Don't attend that often, but I'm just really happy that he keeps on doing these for all these years. So yeah, props to Rony.
Yeah, props to Rony indeed. Thank you, Karolis, and we'll see you in a future race, hopefully, somewhere.
Somewhere, hopefully, yeah.
Somewhere, hopefully. Well,
wait for it.
Exactly. Have a good one, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, see you.
Karolis Motsuitis there, and yeah, into the commentary box now. We've not spoken to him for a while, but it's Yoni Katila. Yoni, welcome back.
Hello.
How's it going? Didn't quite make it in the end, but I think we can put that down to your qualifying. What will talk us through your race?
No, I mean, me, Isaac, and Lakut want to start from the back for a fun challenge, and oh well, I think we all crashed already in turn 1. I don't know exactly what happened. At least I got some real damage, but pace was still okay. I had fun passing people. It was fun to race against the old friends. And yeah, the short from Kapor in the end, but it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, you did an amazing job coming from that far back to be within 6 seconds of the race leader at the end. Wasn't quite to be though, but yeah, it must have, like you said, it must have been good to be back in RTFR and just driving with, as you said, people from the past. Yeah, I'm glad you could make it along and celebrate with us for 100th RTFR XL and LFS.
Yes, of course. Also, that said, you must drive And Isaac is here, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac is here. We could ask him a question in a minute, but I'm not done with you yet. Yeah, Yoni. The only question on my mind is that, although the last to first thing is a fun challenge, I just wondered what it would have been like if you'd have qualified, with your actual pace. But again, we can't change that, and I can't get it out of my head. But stop doing these last to first challenges, damn it!
We just want to have fun.
Fair enough. If that's the way you want to have fun, then fair enough. So yeah, I can't take anything away.
Well, it's a good thing that you have fun, and it was for sure great to see you back after such a long time. So, well, thanks for joining, and well, I guess having fun is more important than the win for you, I guess.
Yeah, I try hard enough in iRacing, so need to have fun here.
Yeah, I mean, LFS continues to just be easy fun. You can boot it up, join a race within seconds, and that's sort of the beauty of it. It's just, yeah, there's no racing really that isn't fun in LFS, and I think that's where it has its charm. So we'll leave you to it, Yoni. Good to see you back. Hope you enjoyed yourself, and we'll catch you hopefully on a future episode.
Yeah, see you guys.
See you, Yoni.
Thanks, Yoni. Isaac Price, welcome back to the booth. 100th ever RTFR XL. You didn't quite make it into the podium in the end. Sorry, into the top spot in the end, but a good battle from the.
Hello.
I don't think he can hear us. I gave him a nice introduction at least.
Well, I think you got a bit
I did hear him.
Oh, there he
Okay.
is. Hello.
Well, if it was my fault, my dodgy internet connection, then I do apologise. But yeah,
Can you hear me now?
we can hear you now. Yeah.
That's good. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, didn't have the best start to the race, but yeah, it was good fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I suppose, yeah, Isaac, what was the thinking in terms of the team strategy where yourself and Vitautas were swapping positions? Was it like we had to think of it on the fly, or was it a pre-race agreement?
I don't think it was a strategy. It was just making mistakes at different times. Like I think we were both struggling a little bit behind Rick. He made a mistake at first behind Rick in turn one, and that let me get through. And then I just got a little bit too close through the sweepers and had to lift out in the dirty air, and Vitautas just got a run on me. So there wasn't much teamwork really. It was just the way it kind of played out. Yeah, but it was a shame that we just lost so much time at the start that we couldn't really catch up with Yoni. But yeah, it was good fun.
Well, good fun battling back through the grid, and that's what it's all about. So, yeah, good to have you back in RTFR XL. I mean, a big milestone for this championship, and it's nice to see that it just continues on and brings together people, as Yoni mentioned in his interview, bringing friends back together to drive in LFS. It can't be a bad thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been friends with the guys for a long time, but it's hard to kind of race at the same time outside of LFS really, because like for me, I've obviously been doing other games for a long time, and Yoni's been into it for a while now as well. But for guys like Gabor and Vitautas, they're both obviously really talented, but don't have that experience, and they're obviously driving an LFS with a mouse, so it's hard for them to adjust to other games. So it's good when we can all get together on LFS and have good racing.
Oh, I love to hear it, and well, thanks again for coming. We hope you enjoyed yourself, and hopefully we'll see you again soon in LFS for more fun. But yeah, it's been great to have you along.
Thank you.
All right, brilliant. That was Isaac, Yoni, and Carolus. And I guess with that, boys, we should probably wrap up and thank Rony for his continuing efforts to host the championship. And yeah, for everyone else for turning up and tuning into the broadcast. It's been a brilliant evening. Yeah, any final thoughts, Eoin and Miika, before we wrap this up?
No, I think we've covered all bases. Qualifying was very competitive, with people being dismissed out of the 41st and below cutoff range. So yeah, a lot of people really wanted to put up their best efforts for the special occasion. We've been hyping it up for quite a while because we knew it was coming. Even last year, it was able to be added up, and I'm glad the day has gone off without a hitch. So well done to everybody for their efforts in organising, for practicing, or indeed just putting in a ballot for this combination.
Yes, indeed, and normality will resume. I haven't done the calculation to work out who will be picking the combo, but someone will choose the combo for the 101st RTFR XL, which will take place on May 20th at 6 o'clock UTC here on Sim Broadcasts. If you want to join the grid for that, get along an hour earlier to get set a qualifying lap. You get an hour to set a time, join the RTFR server, and that's basically it. If you get in the top 40 times, you will have a place on the grid, and you can join us for that. Eoin, Miika, and of course Chris in the background, thank you very much as ever for joining us to celebrate this occasion, and to everyone else for tuning in and driving. It's been wonderful. Thanks again to World Class Lions for sponsoring, and to Rony for putting it on for everybody. And yeah, that will be a wrap from us, from all of us here at Sim Broadcast. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you on the next one. Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.